Hey everybody, Andy here. Happy Thursday. Helping you build a career you love and, dare I say, an entire life you love. Great to have you. I'm feeling great today. I hope you are too. Man, the sun is shining. I was up at 0400, got my bike in, my run in, my meditation, did some writing. I'm here now with my community. I mean, I don't know how much better it can get. Maybe you guys got some great questions. Let's take those. We're gonna spend the next hour. I'm gonna answer your questions. I've got some announcements about the live calendar of events that are going on over the next 2 weeks, 17, 18 days, give or take. It's gonna be a great month. I hope you are charged up about December. Great time to be reflecting, great time to be goal setting. I hope you're doing both. Get in the chat, say hi. Let me know where you're from. Put some question marks in front of your questions. If you are in one of my programs, let me know. Use your hashtag. Great to see everybody. I saw some people were in the chat really early. And when you're in the chat really early and you start pounding your questions in there, which I love, we run the risk of losing them. So I think we were trying to recover them. But Ariel Jonas, my young professional, new boot camper, great to see you. Yes, purple is one of my, if not my favorite color, right up there with green, although I'm sporting blue today. I don't know how blue this looks. But let's get started with you. Hope all's well with you and your family. Thank you for that. I know you love purple. I do. When messaging a recruiter, what changes do we make to the boss hunting template? Okay, this is a great question. I do get this one a bunch. Remember, and now Ariel, because I know you are in the job search coaching program. You're a boot camper. You have access to all of my networking templates. You have access to the Boss Hunting Bible, and you have access to cover letter templates and all that great stuff. When you are reaching out to a potential boss or a management team, doesn't have to be like the bullseye boss, but somebody who's in a hiring capacity that you feel you would be joining their team, you use the boss hunting technique. It's designed for that. The script is written so that you're targeting that particular type of individual. If you are reaching out to a recruiter, you do not use the boss hunting technique. You want to go with a different kind of cover letter. You have a 4-sentence cover letter, a 5-sentence cover letter, you got a 7-sentence cover letter, you've got a few different variations, and depending on what you know, meaning I know there's an open position, I'm applying for this one specifically, there's a script for that. If you don't know whether the organization has an opening, but you're eyeballing a position, you can tweak it. If you have no idea what position you're reaching into that organization about, but you love that company, there's a no job opening cover letter. So you need to choose the one that is directed to the goal that you have based on the person you're targeting. Meaning the goal you're having is what's the best pros for that particular individual to elicit a response, because that's goal number one of a message, an email, a cover letter, a networking message, or anything like that. So you have the entire arsenal, and if you are not sure, go into the Mile Walk Academy, because you have a supported product. You get online support. So go into the Mile Walk Academy and you could just ask me a question if you're not sure where to find it. Those are in Module 2 in the boot camp. All right, great to see you. Great to have you. And it looks like everything is good with my chat. Adam Stark, how are you doing? After JS week / troubleshooting, he means job search challenge week, I'm assuming. Troubleshooting, back to boss hunting. How long to give it to see if it's working or not? This is a great question. Also, some bosses say bad time for event companies. Others say 2022 will pick up. Not sure what to believe. You don't. So couple things. There's different challenges here. Number one, how long you wait is entirely up to you. So I'm gonna give you I repeat. I know you're here every week. I say the same thing every single week. So I'm super consistent in the message related to following up. That's what he's asked. How long to wait to see if it's working or not? Should I follow up? Because it's possible that you sent a message and they saw it, but it wasn't the right time. They saw it, you didn't have the right skills. They never saw it, and so on. And then is the whole technique actually working, which is what you're asking. I'm telling you 100% final answer, the technique works. There's all the troubleshooting steps, any one or multiple pieces of that can be broken, and without working directly with you, you gotta go with the troubleshooting concatenation that I gave you. So I don't know, I'm telling you it works. Now, the question is, do I believe them when they're getting back to me about picking this up or picking that up? I think that right now, for you specifically, okay, and by the way, when I say right now, I'm not talking about December. December is drop the pedal down. You all should be pushing as hard as ever. This should be the hardest month you're pushing as far as reaching out to people for a new job. I'm talking about event planning, because in some cases, in some parts of the world, event planning where people are actually holding in-person live events, which is what Adam is shooting for, that to me, I actually believe that it's probably a little slower than normal. Okay, so this is my speculation. I genuinely believe that it is a bit slower. I base that on what? I'm in communities, I pay for training, I have events that I want to go to, and my trainers are telling me, some of them are saying, we're still virtual. I've got another trainer, he just had a large live event in person, 800 people. Okay, so I didn't go to that because I'm not doing that right now. That's my own choice. But I do believe that they're probably being honest with you. So it's not a matter of does the technique work? It works. I'm telling you it works. You'll never be able to convince me otherwise. I have too many statistics, and I'm not talking about outdated stats. I'm talking about what's working right now. And as a matter of fact, I probably can share with you some things. This might be even a good time to do it, and I hope that helps you. But folks, I mean, just so you know that I'm not fibbing about like November, December, January, February, holidays, Saturdays. I don't care what day of the week it is. I don't care what time of the day it is. When you can send those messages, you send them. And over Thanksgiving, I was in my system. This is a message. This is a message from Lexi. She is a very new member of my job search coaching program, and she put this message in on Friday of the Thanksgiving weekend. Andrew, despite my misgivings, I followed your advice and it worked. Just received an email inviting me to an interview with my full-time job. I'm running out of time to prepare for all these interviews. So she's obviously getting traction. The next day, this is what she said to me. This was Saturday. I just did the boss hunting technique for a posted job on LinkedIn. The hiring manager responded today, a Saturday, to set up a 20-minute informal call. You don't think people are checking their emails? That's just bunk. Again, I'm freaking out. I don't have time to prepare for all the job interviews. I love it. So she's asking me, how do I siphon this down? And this is a technique that I would highly recommend that you are doing. I've talked about this on many occasions about how to use social media to your advantage. The CEO of a potential target company connected with me on LinkedIn after I commented on their post. I accepted, and asked if she had a link or post she wanted me to share. Do anything you can possibly do for them. She asked if I wanted to book a call with her to discuss further ways to engage. So this is stuff that you should be doing continually. And then to round it out, I think I sent this one in the email this morning. This was Rachel on Cyber Monday. Rachel and I in the morning at 8 o'clock my time, and she's in Germany, so that would have been a bunch of hours later in the day, on Monday, had a coaching session. Rachel was, I don't know, she might have been my second session that day. I just sent 3 boss hunting letters. We talked about some scripting for her. I wanted to network with people here in Germany. 3 messages were sent out today and got 2 responses on the same day. Isn't it crazy? One led into an already informational interview. I'm using your template. I gave my members of my job search coaching program an entire informational interview booklet, how to run the sessions, how to control the agenda, what to say during the sessions, how to follow up with the messaging, what to do in the wake of the follow-up, how to keep the network going out of that one session. And that's what she's referring to. I cannot stress this enough. You need to be a marketing machine. Feed the funnel. This is the top of the funnel. Keep sending your resume out. That's not applying through the applicant tracking system. It is sending your messages like what Rachel was doing and other activity like what Lexi was doing. And I'm telling you, people are hiring like nuts. I have a backlog of people trying to get on my calendar to talk about their job offers. So don't believe anybody who's telling you to slow down. I'm telling you, people are hiring. Now, yeah, in Adam's situation, there might be a little bit of a slowdown. He might have to work that much harder in sending out messages to get into an organization that's biting. But not everything is dead in the water. So if you want to stay with that route in that career, then you're going to have to work a little harder, or you can slightly pivot a bit. But I cannot stress this enough. You got to keep going every day, every day. Consistency will trump talent. It will beat talent. It will, all the time, in the long run. Maybe not in the short run, but in the long run, it sure does. All right. I was glad I got to work that in because I actually prepped that little thing like, I don't know, 20 minutes ago. Okay, Patty Atkinson, hey, how you doing? Great to see you, my boot camper. William Brandon, happy holidays to you. And Michael Moore, always nice to see you from the Northeast portion of the U.S. Jim R., Jason Garrity, oh my goodness, oh my boot campers and my Cherry, how are you, my baby girl? Great to see you. Salma, what's a good word? Great talking to you last week and meeting you. Is there a perfect day, time to send the email to the boss to make sure that it will be read? Well, I would send it whenever it suits you. However, if you really want to get down to try to give yourself the best advantage, Tuesday morning would be my preferred time. Generally speaking, I don't mind. So that's if you're going to send it during the week. So I'm a weekend sender too. Like I would send them on the weekends. Why? The inbox tends to go down, and even if they're not, now the weekends hit or miss. If on Monday, if they don't check their email over the weekend, which I think is actually more rare than it is the norm, when they come in on Monday, they're dealing with a lot of their to-dos. Now they probably looked at their email on the weekend and probably, like most people, ineffectively left the inbox full. So they go in on Monday and they go through all their emails. They get all their new emails. Everybody's emailing everybody. They get their status meetings in. They got all the stuff they're dealing with. So I don't love Mondays, but I send them anyway. Tuesday morning, they've got the inbox kind of cooled off. Tuesday morning, they're at work. Let's call it, right, Monday through Friday, generally speaking. Tuesday morning gives them kind of the maximum amount of time to get to you before the week is out. However, Salma, you're overthinking it. Just send 3 a day, 3 a day, 3 a day. I know you're working. I know you've got a busy job, but I would send them each day. I really would. Gene Rebel, how you doing, baby? I just love meeting you in Clearwater. That was great. Janae, great to see you. Looking forward to meeting you. Terry, how are you? My boot camper from California. Hope you're doing well. And Andrea, wonderful to have you. Dana, hey. Dana, I'm going to get with you. Dana, can you send me in the support queue, like email me at support@milewalk.com, and can you tell me the exact people you want to meet at that company? And I'm seeing my best friend's girlfriend tomorrow, and I would like to go in with the list of names and ask her if she knows those people. And either way, I'll connect the two of you. We'll do a little networking here. Okay. Bob, how you doing? Deb, you guys are great. Jennifer D, I have an interview with 2 people I would be managing anytime. Love this. Okay. Now. Oh, we don't want to do that. Here we go. Hold on. Jennifer, see this book? Jennifer, I would like to send you a signed copy of this book. Can you email us at support@milewalk.com? All I ask is you chip in a few bucks for materials and handling. I'm going to give you this book, just like this, but it's going to be signed. and I'm going to give you an ebook and an audiobook of this book if you want to take my little few dollar shipping and handling package. If you don't want to do that, we will give you the ebook and the audiobook, okay? If you don't want the book, but I signed it. Now, the reason I wanted to pull that book out, The Hiring Prophecies, is because in The Hiring Prophecies, I talk about how you can be effective in managing the people and interviewing with them. Now, in this book here, The Interview Intervention, you can grab this one for $7, materials and handling. You get the ebook and the audiobook, some other stuff too. But in this book, there's a section on interviewing and storytelling. And in the storytelling chapter, I go into one of the elements of storytelling is getting the other people to care about you personally by showing them you care about them personally. Okay, so number one, I hope you either have this or grab it, because what I always tell people, when you're going to speak to one of the 3 categories of people you're going to speak to, there's 3 categories generally. There's seniors or supervisors or managerial resources, the management team. There's people that are on your level. Those include teammates, peers, counterparts, and so on. But it also could be like a customer that you're supporting, an internal customer, or maybe a team you'll be working with or something like that. That's on the plane. And then there's the more junior resources, the staff that you could potentially be managing or coaching or influencing in some way. Now, I'm not going to go into the top 2, but since you asked me about people you'll be managing, when you go in there, it's all about, do they like you as a person, and would they, now what they're going to be thinking. In this book, I tell the HR person and the recruiter and the hiring officials how to coach those staff members in what to look for. They're going to be looking for, do I want to work for this person? Obviously, but what goes along with that are things like, does this person look like a cool boss? Does this person look like they will teach me what I need to know and perhaps mentor me? Will this person give me good instruction, but also will this person give me opportunity to kind of run with it on my own, some autonomy and those kinds of things, right? Well, a lot of your ability to know what they want and how they're thinking about it is by asking them questions about how you can best support them. You want to make them feel welcome and that their ideas will be welcome, and you can start that right in the interview process. So if I'm interviewing with people that are gonna be on my team that I'm gonna manage, I would ask them, hey, you guys have been here. What do you love about working here? I'd warm them up. What do you love about it? Is there anything you'd love to get them talking about something positive? Is there anything that you would love to improve? If you were me and you were the boss of this team, what would you change? What's next? Why hasn't that been changed yet? The answer you're looking for is the boss won't let us. Because you could say, that sounds like a good idea. What else would you do, right? And now you're going through that line, and now they're seeing that. Well, based on my background, are there any things that you guys notice that you would be particularly interested in me teaching you? Right, like these are the questions that you should be asking the staff. I got a whole boatload of these. So that's how you approach it, because why? In the storytelling principles, if you guys do not know what I'm talking about with the storytelling principles, you grab this damn thing. In the storytelling principles, you do certain things to get them to act on your behalf, which is we need to hire Jennifer D. Okay, in order for them to do that, while I would love to think that everybody in the organization is a good corporate soldier and they will put their feelings aside and want to pick the person that is best for the job, people don't do that. They pick who they like, okay? And who they like are people that are going to benefit them. You sound like somebody that's going to benefit them by going through it that way. Okay, so those are the lines of questioning, and then keep drilling down on it. But I got you started on a few of them. Good luck. That's great. Listen, I want you to grab this because you're going to be hiring people. This one's signed. If you don't have this, get it. All of you, get these little beauties. All right, that's great. Great question. Just awesome. E.W. de Mora Coriella, Switzerland. I love it. Sun isn't shining. You know what? Wait, can I get a Heidi Hey and at least the thumbs up for, can you see my little doxy? I know it's not in focus because the focus is on me, but that is one of the 6 trees in my house. The other one's, I have another one right over here. It's beautiful. I just, we're so in the Christmas spirit, and it looks like a buffalo ran through our house and threw up everywhere. Okay, Rachel, my French Maryland person who I thought was from Canada, and my new boot camper, great to see you. And Malika, you had quite the little horseshoe of good luck last week, right? Some gifts there, my leader and my boot camper. I appreciate you chiming in the system and letting me know you're enjoying it. Great to see you. And when I come, and we all stay at Steve Thompson's house for a week, we'll all meet in the Willamette Valley, so the meetup will be like a wine tasting day. G-Day High, Salma, yes, I know you're from. Oh, Oscar Ramos. Great to have you and the missus in the leadership program. Love that. Afra, hi. Farah Mars, my boot camper from a lot of Canadians. I love it. DJ Mir 84. Hey, Emily, looking forward to meeting you. Huntington Row, I'm gonna try to spin you some California gold today. Great to see you. Zero, Faze, Patty, Cecilia. Oh, you guys are too much. All right, wait, Jennifer, I got that. Steve Smith. Andy, you mentioned don't talk, this has got to be Steve Smith, my boot camper, who didn't put his boot camper hashtag, so let's get you some money. Andy, you mentioned don't talk money till the end. If pay range does not advertised and readily not offered, how do you subtly ask about a range? Steve, you don't. And as a matter of fact, just remember this. All y'all, I'm really glad Steve asked me this. Quick and fast, always right. If they don't mention money, it is your dream, because that means they don't care. We're gonna pay whatever we need to pay to get the right person here, and we'll pay them based on how they perform in the interviews, the value they're gonna contribute, and what we think they're gonna deliver. That means if they do not mention it ever, those are the companies you should be falling all over yourself to interview with, because they're mostly concerned about hiring right rather than hiring for a budget. Okay? That's it. Final answer. Don't ask ever. DJ MPLS. What time do you go to sleep and wake up at 4 a.m. with so much energy? My boot camper? Okay. If you guys miss next Wednesday and Thursday, you're going to make me cry, because we're going to talk about goal setting, and we're going to talk about, that's on Wednesday. There's 75 minutes of instruction. I'm going to show you the abridged version of my goal setting masterclass. This is called the Goal Setting Success Webcast. I'm going to be there. It's all goals week, and I'm sending lessons and videos Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. And on Wednesday, I'm giving you the main instruction and doing a Q&A. And on Thursday, I'm breaking down my Iron Man that I just did in October and how I trained for it. I got 13 lessons, 13 career and life lessons for you that apply to what you do in your life and your career. And I'm bottling it up in a kind of a case study. I'm going to take you through all that. And the reason I mention it now is because I want you to make sure you're signed up. Maybe the team, can you put that and pin it in the chat, the Goal Setting Success web event, because I want to make sure you're on my email list and getting the lessons. And a big part of being able to do all those things is getting up early and making sure you're sleeping. Now, I don't get up at 4 o'clock every single day. I happen to get up at 4 o'clock today because I was awake. And I think I went to bed at 10. Now, I don't usually, I usually like to get up at 4:30, okay? So now, when I'm high training, like the summer through, I have to dial it all the way back to like 5 or 5:15 because I just need more rest. But, I was able to get up and, I probably worked out for 3 hours, including stretching, this morning. So I had to get that in, and then I had to get some work in, and then I had to show up for the show. But I sleep pretty soundly. I really do. There's a whole, DJ, I don't know if you are in my leadership program, but if you are in the leadership I know you're a boot camper. If you're in the leadership program, there's an energy session, there's a productivity challenge as well that goes into all planning, but there's also the energy session is how I go through the day, how I never run out of energy. And it isn't about just sleep. Okay, there's a whole mess of stuff that contributes to your energy level. There's sleep, there's diet, there's how you do your activities, there's when you do your activities, there's the transition between activities. So what do I do before I start something? What do I do when I finish, before I start the next thing, and so on. There's other disciplines that go, I just don't get tired, because people get tired in the transitions. They accumulate a lot of stress and tension. There's a whole bunch of stuff that makes people tired that has nothing to do with sleep. So I hope you jump into that if you're not already, and you get a discount if you're not in there as a boot camper. Any tips on how to narrow search results when using LinkedIn X-ray? For example, I get results of people with the same last name as the company I am searching for. D-City, you're a boot camper. Go into the system, pop that question in there. Kara will set you the strings, and she will show you how to do that. Grace, hey Andy, can I ask the reservation question at the end of an HR screening? I would not necessarily do that. Have you any reservations about putting me through to the next round? I would ask it with HR more positively. Okay, wait, so if you guys do not know what the reservations technique is, there is a video on my YouTube channel about the ultimate question to ask at the end of the interview. There is another video on my YouTube channel about what happens if they don't have any reservations and they still don't hire me. So no bad feedback, but no job offer. Check those two videos out if you don't know what Grace is talking about, or grab the book. I detail it out. Now, keep in mind, when you ask the question about, do you have any reservations about hiring me, you need to pin them in to elicit negative feedback so you can correct it right then, because you don't want them going to bed angry, so to speak. You don't want them going to bed with any doubts in their mind. Now, with HR, I would do this. I would go through the process, the screen. You're going to assess some questions that you're going to ask related to, right, how long has the position been open? Why haven't you hired anybody yet? What's been missing? This, that, and the other thing, okay? You're eliciting information, you're gaining intelligence to assess how you align. You're going to talk to the person, you're going to ask them about, you know, what the successful candidate looks like and all that other good stuff, cultural stuff, things of that nature. Based on what you know of me, how do you feel I match, just based on your initial. And when I ask an HR person that, this is very important. I don't know that I've actually ever said this to you guys. You always want, I've talked to you about priming and framing. Priming is when you open up something, whether verbally or written or in a speech or in an email or in anything. Priming moves their emotional state to where you want it, okay? And then framing is getting them to look at how you want them to see it. You do this on a question-by-question basis if you are really good. And so if I'm talking to an HR person and I just had a half hour or 45-minute or hour-long screen, I would say, you know, you obviously have a great, you know, pulse on what works here, and you know your organization, and I might even go so far as to say, I noticed you've been working here 5 years, but you can only use that if they have. But even if they've been working there 10 minutes, you can still say you obviously have a good, good feel for what works. Based on our discussion and my background, how do you feel I would fit? Start with that. Okay, compliment, primes, moves or emotional state, and so on. You ask the question, and then you're gonna have a follow-up. Anything missing? Something like that. Do you see how fast that gets in there? Where's the gap? If they're gushing all over you, and you hear like 10 minutes into the call, Grace, you obviously must have taken Andy's boot camp because you're so awesome at interviewing. We're definitely moving you to the next round. If you hear something like that, or maybe not the Andy part, but you know what I mean. Like, this is great, I got to get you with so-and-so. Don't waste time doing that. Then you move right to, oh, I can't wait to talk to thank you so much. You obviously have a good pulse on what works. So thank you for the vote of confidence, whatever. Say flower it up any way you want. Is there anything in particular about my background you think so-and-so will especially want to know? That's queuing up What's going to be the most important thing to that person? That's the inside information of what that hiring official cares most about. If you do not get that, you are starting at a disadvantage when you go talk to that person. So this is the kind of stuff that you got to make sure is in there. You got to know this stuff. You got to be ready like this when you get into those screens. Do not for 1 second think a screen is a waste of time. That is one of your richest discussions with the least difficult person to get the information that you need that helps you hit the home run. Okay? So make sure you're on that. That's a great question. Really is. Did I miss, I think I might have missed, there was a question that I didn't get that is from, is it Kishun? Is that how you say it? Andy, I got an offer for an experienced position, but I didn't meet the manager team in the interviews. I used salary negotiation tactics in the mini boot camp and got a little increase. What to do next? Well, if you feel comfortable with the amount, the number, then, just ask them, okay, what can I do to get a running start when I show up? Is there anything I can get in advance? Any documentation, a computer, this and that and the other stuff, okay? But I do want to, I know, wait, this is good news, okay? But I'm always a little concerned. Actually, scratch that. I'm greatly concerned when you take a job, anybody takes a job where they do not get to talk to their direct boss or team in the interviews. Now, when you say I didn't meet, I'm assuming that means you didn't have a Zoom session with them, because if they're not doing a lot of in-person stuff, I'm comfortable with that because we're getting really good at this video stuff. But if you did not talk to them at all, remember, 4 out of 5 people quit their job because of their boss. It will always be that way for all time. All right, because people quit people before they quit companies. The opposite is true too. They stay too long because of their boss. But I would not take a job unless I had a feel for the people that I was going to be working with, not to mention directly, I don't love the expression, but directly for. So that's what I would do there. Just be careful. Be careful. Deb, how are you doing? Always nice to see you. Ellie, what's the good word here? Ellie Woo, the Mahala Project. Oh, okay. Let's get this up on the telly here. All right, Ellie's asking, I love your content. Thank you. That does make me very happy. I'm interviewing for a position at a company I really love. Awesome. Would it be appropriate for me to send a nice note to the CEO on LinkedIn? I would not do that. I would not do anything on LinkedIn when you were in the interviewing process. I would wait and wait and wait all the way to the end. And if you're going to send it to the CEO, one of two things is probably true. It's a very tiny company, or you're a very senior person, or both. Now, if it's both, then you likely should be talking to the CEO. If it's a small company and you just want to message the CEO as another person, I'm a fan of waiting until the interview process is done and you are clear on their decision, meaning you're in or you're out. Now, I would not take the time to do that. If you want to do that on the way out, meaning it didn't work, you can send the CEO a note and say what a wonderful organization you have. You can give him or her or whoever it is, some kind of parting message of respect and appreciation. But I would not be inboxing people during an interview process. I simply would not. Stay away from it. Wait it out. Good luck though. Louisa, how are you? DJ Mir 84 recruiter was supposed to follow up with me after submitting my profile last week, which he stated was very strong. I was one of 2 candidates left, still awaiting. I cross my fingers. Gregory Allen, I am midstream with a consulting engagement. My client mentioned there was a vacancy for a risk manager. I said I was very interested, and he sent me the details to apply. There is no question here, my boot camper. You go, apply. It's okay to do that. Denisha, how are you doing? Folks, make sure to put some question marks in front of your questions so I don't miss them. I try to go through gingerly, but I do miss them sometimes, so hold on. All right. Emily, my boot camper who I'm really looking forward to meeting. If you have already sent your resume via their website, no response, is it okay to go on LinkedIn, research the HR person, and send a message and maybe reach out to other people? Emily, great question. 100% yes, final answer all the time. And you probably know by now, I don't ever want you to lead with an application into their system, into their corporate portal, into their LinkedIn website, meaning their job posting or whatever. Always target people. Bosses first, teammates second, recruiters and HR people third. And when I say boss, that means the boss, if you can find them, or up the chain, go to the management team higher, then go to teammates, then go to the recruiter HR person. Then applicant trashing system. See you soon. Gregory Allen, to patch it back up with you, don't read anything into it. You should go through the interview. I would want you to go through the interview too. I wouldn't think about anything like that. Salima, how are you from France? Thank you. You are welcome. I love that picture because I can see your face and it's bright and smiling and that makes me happy. All right, Laura Martinez. Wait, hey, all right, 11:36 on dot. Are you subscribed to the channel? We don't want you missing anything, especially not my videos and my live shows. Have you clicked the thumbs up, the like button, meaning circulate, like it, share it, put a comment on the, on the video when it's done, share it, send it to your friends. People need help. Just quick announcements. It would make life really easy if your calendar was synced up to the Mile Walk Academy live calendar of events. It's a Gmail calendar. It shows you where I am, with whom I'm with, and what dates, what times, what platform, whether we're on Zoom, whether we're in YouTube, wherever I am, you'll always know. You don't even have to opt in anything of mine. You could just sync the calendar, and it goes to iCal, Gmail, Outlook, that kind of stuff. All right, make sure you are signed up for the Setting Success Webcast. It's a 2-day webcast. It starts on the 8th and the 9th. It'll be on the YouTube channel, but don't miss the lessons. I wrote you email lessons and some videos, and I got a new video on Tuesday too. So you're gonna get email on Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday about why people fail at their goals, what are the traits you need, questions to ask yourself before you undertake any goals. I give you written copy of the lessons. You'll get those 3 days before, and then on Wednesday and Thursday will be on YouTube. And then on Friday, if you are a member of my leadership coaching program, you can get in on that on a monthly basis, an annual basis, which is much cheaper, or a lifetime basis. Although we don't advertise the lifetime too much. But get in and try it. We're going through my annual reflection exercise. There are 9 areas to reflect on. If you do not reflect, you are missing out on probably one of the top 3 success tools in the world. And I'm not talking about pondering. I'm not talking about, how's my marriage going? I'm not talking about this. Reflecting is about attaching meaning to things you did or experiences you had and understanding the value. So I'm going to take you through the 9 areas that I would address, that I address every year. I do it even on a more frequent basis, but I also reflect daily, weekly, monthly, and quarterly. But we actually do this exercise together. So if you're a member of the leadership program, it's at 11 o'clock on Friday, December 10th. We do it via Zoom. Some of you will come up on the camera with me and share your experiences, help package up lessons for the others in the group. It's really interactive and a lot of fun. And if you can't make that date, you can get the replay. Either way, I hope you can make that. Then the following week on the 15th, different day of the week, the following week I have live office hours, a special show for you on job search moves I would make in 2022. I'm kind of got an annual one of these going too. That's for the public. That's on my YouTube channel. Moves you need to make for 2022. It's going to be great. It's the 15th at 11. And then on the 16th, that's a Thursday, I'll be with people in my job search coaching program. That's a private boot camper session. That's our last one of those for the year. So if you are interested in this stuff, let me know. And Stephen Elliott, we got a nice one here. I got an offer yesterday from a major media company to work as a tech PM on their super popular streaming I love it. Andy, I used your networking techniques and thank you email templates and suggestions. I've been on the market for the past 6 months and your videos and advice gave me the tools and confidence I needed to close the deal. I love it. Can we give Stephen Elliott a huge, huge thumbs up and fist bump? And Rachel Kim, hi Andy et al. I must say that sending the boss hunting letter helped me boost my confidence. This helped me networking with nice hiring managers for coffee meeting today. Need to prepare. Okay, shout out to you. I know it's nighttime where you are, Rachel. Thank you for putting that wonderful comment in the system for others to see too. And Kara is asking me, people are asking for the Hiring Prophecies link. Should I send them to Amazon? For the public, Kara, send them to Amazon. If you are in my leadership coaching program, if you are a leader, pound leader, you're the only ones that have access to this free package because it's everything. It's the $35 book. It's the $10, $11, $12 ebook. And the audiobook is not even on Amazon. It's not on Audible. The audiobook is only available through me. You have access, my leaders have access to this package where I literally signed the copies in my office here and then drove them to the warehouse for you guys. But everybody else that's not a part of my leadership program can grab the book on Amazon. It's a great, and please do, if you love it, actually just write me an honest review. I would appreciate your thoughts on that. So privately, we want to make sure that Jennifer D emails us so we can give her the little package, and then everybody else, at least for now, on Amazon or wherever, or Barnes & Noble or Books A Million. It's everywhere. Laura Martinez, what do we got? All right. How do I negotiate higher pay when the company expects me to travel to manage trade shows when the job is actually a remote travel coordinator position where I'd be on call 24/7? It's 2 roles in 1. Okay. All right. I, fortunately for you, have a video out there about how to negotiate a pay raise when you get more responsibilities. It is exactly the script you need. It is exactly how to say what you need to say, because you're talking about actually going for a pay raise. And Laura, it is exactly what you need. And Stacy maybe can pop that in the chat for you so you don't have to go looking too hard for it, because I'm just going to send you there. And the other thing that I would mention to you, I don't think you are in my leadership coaching, but in October and in November, so the last 2 sessions we had in my leadership coaching program, October was performance reviews. This is you need to understand this as part of negotiating for more money. And then October was performance reviews. November was negotiating your pay raise, where I go in nauseating detail. I actually give you the scripts. It's all written out and how to do certain things. So if you are not in that program, you might want to consider jumping in even for a month and checking that out, because I give you access to over 40 archived lessons, of which those are 2. Immediately, and you can poke around the place and see if you love it, and then you can decide if you want to stay or if you want to convert to an annual membership, which is like half the cost. You save like almost $300 a year. It's only $49 a month, and it's $39 a month if you're in my boot camp. So give that a try, Laura. It's in that video is what you need, that YouTube video, I mean. But if you want more, like really want the goods, it's in my leadership program. Kendra, how are you, my new boot camper? I'm working my way through the boot camp modules and wondering how much time I should expect to spend doing the exercises in each module. I feel like I'm slow. So I don't know if you're slow. What I tell people to do is zip through the main session in each of the main modules. That's 5 sessions. They're about an hour and a half to hour and 45 each. That's the teaching portion. Run through it so you understand it, so you understand the blueprint, how to build your house. Then you go back, you have all the templates that should expedite your ability to put your headline, your why, testing your why, the requirements spreadsheet is all there. Zip through that. You can go through that very quickly because I did it all for you. And all you need to do is make assessments and take out what you don't want. That's the beauty of that, instead of you trying to do it from a blank sheet of paper, which will take you forever. And then with resume writing, right? I don't know what shape your resume's in. Get it down on paper quickly. You have the templates, you have the content builder, you have the sample sentences, you have all that stuff. Drop your stuff in the sentence structures with your particulars. But that should happen pretty quickly. It's not like, don't spend oodles and oodles. So whenever you're doing anything that requires new creation, you should be able to get 90% done super, super fast. The last 10%, depending on how much you want to tweak and how perfect it needs to be, and you guys know my thoughts on perfection, which is this could take, this last 10% could take just as, could take more time than the front 90, depending on how you approach it. Or you could just quickly get it to version 1, get it out and get using it, and then see how the world reacts to it, because that's my way of doing things. So if you have more specifics there, go into the system and ask me, and I will help you. Lena, I believe you are a new boot camper too. If there are 2 open positions I could apply for, should I choose just one or send 2 Boss Hunter messages? Okay, wait. I'm going to make an assumption here, Lena, that the 2 positions you could apply for are pretty dang close, meaning it's like, junior analyst, or analyst, senior analyst, or, system engineer 1 or system engineer. Like, if they're close like that, you send one message to whoever you think the boss is, and that's that. If you're saying to me, well, there's this position in, New York and this position in San Francisco, and it looks like there's a head in New York and a head in San Francisco, you can send it to both. If you're telling me, well, that's a sales position and that's a marketing position, don't do that. Meaning, I would not send boss hunting message. I would pick the one you want and then try that person first. Okay? So that's the way I would go. That's the way I would go about that. Laura, wait, let's get you back up here. If I can't find a boss, now you're talking about hunting. If I can't find a boss or potential supervisor's email, should I just send the boss hunting letter via email? The answer to that is yes. However, I don't know if you saw the job search challenge, which is no longer up, but if you go to a site called hunter.io, and I believe it's, oh God, H-U-N-T, is it H-U-N-T? r.io. It's hunter.io, huntr.io. It's a corporate email format site. And you could, like, if you put in mile walk, up is it's gonna comb the internet looking for people at milewalk.com, and it's going to note that there's a support at milewalk.com out there. There's an info at milewalk.com out there. It's going to note my personal email address and those kinds of things. And so it will give you an indicator of what the format is likely to be, like first initial, last name, first name dot last name, and so on. Then you can also look at a site called verifyemailaddress.org. I'm not married to these. I don't really care. There's a million of these sites out there. But those are ones that we know have pretty good results. And you can try others. But you should be able, in 95% of the cases, you should be able to find the person's address. And if you are not like completely comfortable, like so-and-so works at Disney, and there's Andrew.LaCivita at Disney.com, there's A LaCivita at Disney.com, I'm not sure if it's Andy LaCivita at Disney.com, then pick the one you think is the most probable. Then go into the blind carbon copy position in the email, in the field, and put Andrew.LaCivita, Andy LaCivita, Andy.LaCivita. Put all those in the blind carbon copy and send it, and one of them will get there. and you might get some bounces. But that's what I would do. But the answer to your question is yes. But if you're really trying to get the email, go with those other tips. Ken, how do, my friend? I'm thinking that this is probably a darn good... Ken is a boot camper. The job search challenge does create a lot of activity. That activity continues after employment begins. What is your advice about how to handle those inquiries after you're employed? Ken, I would say that's a personal preference. Let's go with the most extreme case so I can cover the worst case, and meaning best case scenario, worst case depending on how you want to look at it, but what I'm about to say is always good cases, or everything else is up to you. So here I am, I'm Ken, I'm in Andy's Bootcamp, and I'm awesome, and I'm sending out boss hunting messages and team targeting messages and all kinds of stuff. And then I'm going down and I'm about to get an offer, or I get an offer, or I get an offer and I sign it and then something flies in. And to that I say, Ken, if that's like your dream company or a company that you want to continue to investigate, go ahead. Because the only thing that's worse than you looking over your shoulder for a few years, right? I mean, the only thing worse, than jilting that employer and saying, geez, I know I told you I was showing up, but I'm not, is you wondering what if for the next however many years. So I know it's not perfect. I leave that to your discretion. I'm telling you, it's better to deal with a stomach in knots for a few weeks than headaches for 3 years. Okay, so that's the way I look at that. And you would not believe how many people actually sign job offers and don't show up, or sign job offers and go work a few weeks and leave, or crap out, or whatever. As a recruiter, and watching what happened with our clients and people they were trying to hire or whatever, it's nuts. Now, one other thing, let's cap it off with this point. I'm also telling you guys that just because an employer rejected you and said, I'm going with Ken, doesn't mean Ken showed up, Ken worked out, or they might not be adding to the team later. So you should follow up. How? Rejection message. If you are using my freemiums, I have a video on my YouTube channel about how to get the job after being rejected. If you are in my boot camp, you not only get the whole script and all the instruction written out, but you get the rejection message and the resuscitation package of how to re-engage after you send the rejection. So I broke all that down for you. So if you're in the boot camp, you have that as well. But get started with, if you're in the free domain, start with the how to get the job after being rejected, and make sure that if you get let go out of an interviewing process because they didn't want to move forward with you and we chose somebody else, or we're still looking, or whatever, you should always send the rejection message, and you should always follow up within 30 days. Hope that helps. Susan Kelly, what's the good word? Hopefully it's sunny. And Letitia, Walter, how are you? From beautiful France. Abigail Q, my boot camper. TC, Tarinia, how are you? I'm so glad you mentioned that was you. Jennifer, yes, grab the book. And Cornelia, my boot camper and lifetime member, follow-ups to a boss hunting letter. Good idea? Yes. So I am okay. I subscribe to the abundance theory. There's 7.7 billion people in the world. There's tons of bosses out there. There's tons of companies. There's tons of jobs. There's tons of companies that would be falling all over themselves to have you specifically work for them. And my message to you all is, you don't have a product problem. There's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with your experience or lack thereof. There's nothing wrong with you if you don't have a degree. There's nothing wrong if you don't know this particular software language or that particular function or whatever. There are companies that will kill themselves to hire you. The issue is not you're not perfect. The issue is the marketing of you is not perfect, and we're not spending enough time feeding the funnel, sending out getting out for first dates. Okay, enough swings at the plate. What does Andy also call it? Bidders, balls in the air. You got to keep feeding the top of the funnel. But what a lot of us do is we want to follow up with bosses and follow up with people who are not getting back to us. We want to follow up with companies whose interview process isn't moving fast enough. Don't do that. Stay front focused. Now, can you follow up? Sure. I would only follow up in select cases. How long would I wait? I'd send them a message, and if you insist on following up, which is okay with me, 7 days, 10 days, send them another one. But remember this, when you follow up, you want to exert the least amount of time, because every time you say yes to something, you say no to something else. Every time you're in here, right, you're chasing an exchange because you already fed the funnel. They didn't get back to you. Now you're spending time down here where you shouldn't be. If you spend time down here, that means you're saying no to spending time up here. So if you can get that time down to a very minimum, then that's the least amount of drag. And then what I also tell you when you follow up is the fewer words, the better. The shorter your message, the better your message. You take the original and you just say, hey, I wanted to reach back in to see if this might be of interest to you. I'm following up, whatever. Still would love to talk to you. That's it. They don't want to read anything else. If they didn't get back to, if they didn't contact you based on your initial message, they don't want to read a ton more. Okay, so 7 to 10 days, that's it. I would not be spending a lot of time following up. I really would not. There's plenty of opportunity out there. If you subscribe to the and Cornelia, I think you're an abundance person too after getting to know you. But for everybody who's out there who thinks there's limits in this world, that's just nuts. You're confining yourself. Don't do that. Stephen Elliott got the offer. I hope everybody cheered you on, man. That's awesome. Dana, yes, I was having a hard time identifying the right Dana, oh God, give me the group names, give me the locations, give me something to go with. Thank you, Julia. And I love the picture and the wave. Ildi, what's up? And Rachel, you are so great. How about it? Wine tasting, baby. That's great. My God. Buffalo plaid. Can you guys see that? Buffalo, it's over here. Whoop. I get dizzy. Everything's opposite. There, and then in the house. We trees everywhere. Everywhere. My office, this breakfast room, our sunroom, 3-season, our living room, our bedroom, and my wife's office. All right, hey, wait. Just quick announcements here. December 8th and 9th, goal setting. It's going to be fun, really fun. And if you are, if you're interested in those emails, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, so 5th, 6th, and 7th, just make sure you're on my email list. If you're on my email list, you're not getting the emails, support@milewalk.com. Then the following week, Wednesday will be this live show. I'm going to give you the moves I would make in 2022. They're kind of like the moves I would tell you to make in 2021. But we're going to go through some other stuff, and they're great reminders, and I'm going to be diligent. I'm hitting everything. I'm hitting like the front end stuff, the middle stuff, the interview stuff, like stuff you got to know. And that's going to be Wednesday. And then boot campers, I'll see you on Thursday. All right, let me see if I can sneak another one of these. Jeff, how are you? Hey, if you're loving this, please share it. Make sure you subscribe to the station. Click the little like button thingy. What do we got? 150 people. You guys are awesome. Steve Thompson, there you are. You know, I think I gotta. We're gonna be planning it here darn soon. I'll be in touch. Daryl D, you are a boot camper from New York. Greetings to you, team, and all. Andy, what's your suggestion direction for the best means to identify companies I may want to work for, especially when open to changing industries? Daryl, module 3 of the boot camp. I give you all the steps. We give you packages of lists of companies, of links to lists I would be looking at. It's in module 3. It's all there, all the steps. I lay all the instruction out for you. I give you all the different ways I would come up with organizations, and it's okay whether you want to stay in your industry or change industry. Check that out. Module 3 main session. That's where you need to go. Marty, you do... you don't have to sign up for the goal setting workshop. However, if you want the emails and you want the booklet, so the booklet I'm going to give you actually has my goal planning sheet in it. So if you want to know every single step that I take to actually identify a goal, to know whether I'm going to pursue it or what I do as a first means to take it on, the goal sheet, it's mine. I've not seen this anywhere because I go into areas that a lot of people don't go into, and I'm telling you, I mean, I've seen a whole bunch of goal setting methodologies out there, and I feel, I mean, I could say this is mine, but you don't have to take my word for it. It works if you put the thought into it. But there's a 2-page sheet that I give you the sections, everything related to sacrifices, intent, and all the other stuff that you need to be putting in place to make sure that you're thinking through. You guys do not accomplish your goals not because you are not talented enough. You have the skills. It's all the other stuff that you didn't do, like sacrifice to create space. It wasn't aligned to who you want to be. There's a whole mess of reasons why you mucked this up. But if you want that booklet, you got to be signed up because we're delivering you the workbook for the session the morning of, and that's got the goal planning sheet in it. Vicky Hartman. What do we got? Let me see if I can get this in here. I had an interview last week. Interviewer asked me when I graduated from college. I feel like that was an age fishing question since it was out of the blue. It is. I think you're in the U.S. Should I assume it's an innocent question? Well, okay. On the one hand, and I mean this, I'm not being Pollyanna-ish here. I like to give people the benefit of the doubt. Okay, I do. However, I have tons of experience that helps me assess the level of innocence or maliciousness in the intent. Now, so number one, it's one thing if somebody says to you, even though this is inappropriate in an interview, oh man, I just love my kids. You know, I'm tied up all weekend. I got 3 kids. I'm going to the soccer games and this and that. You know, do you have any kids? Okay, now they shouldn't be asking you that, but somebody who does one of those, it's probably, while not appropriate, it's probably not ill intent, okay? Right, like that kind of stuff. If you know, this comes out of the blue and it's from I don't know who the person was that asked you, it's a younger person, they're asking you this, then it sounds a little fishy to me. If it's an older person, and you know, it's kind of somebody you think is a similar age, my reaction to them would have been, oh, that's interesting. Why do you ask? Right? If you're going to come at me like that, I don't answer anything until I understand your intent. So then I want to ask them. So that's how I see that. I think it's terrible. So there's maliciousness, and then there's lack of education. Like some interviewers don't know that's inappropriate, right? Whose issue is that? It's the company's issue that they're not educating the interviews. It's the interviewer's issue as well because they've got to own it. But still, you have to realize that, and then this sends signals to you. Are these the kind of organizations you want to work for? That's how I look at that, Vicky. That's a great question. I know a lot of you deal with this, right? It's odd. It's odd. All right, listen, let's end on that note because I got to get rolling. Thank you guys for another great session. I'll be in your inbox Sunday. If you are on my email list, we're gonna be giving you the goal lessons. These are pretty good. Okay, I mean, and I would print them out and save them or copy them or whatever you want to do. And then Wednesday, I'll see you at the goal setting stuff. Everybody, have a great weekend. I'm going to be celebrating my wife's birthday, which is Monday. We're going to be celebrating tomorrow and Saturday for her. And, I'm really excited about the weekend. I hope you guys are too. All right, you guys, thank you. Love you all. Greatly appreciate your attention and wishing you a lot of luck. December, get after it. Get after it. Okay, take some inspiration from Lexi and Rachel. All right, we'll see you.